Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining me here today so that we can discuss her last broadcast, The Abduction of Jodi Huisentruit. Now, this is a 3-part true crime docuseries on Hulu that focuses on, as the title would suggest, the abduction of a woman named Jodi Huisentruit. Now, she was a news anchor slash reporter for a small town news station. She was beloved by her viewers. She got along with her coworkers. She was active in the community. She had romantic relationships. She seemed to kind of, be just a very well-liked person in general. And one day she didn't show up for work, which was very unusual. And as it turned out, like something had happened to her and she was never seen again. So this docuseries is really in-depth. It's a 3-part. Each one lasts just over 40 minutes. So there's enough time to really dive into stuff, but it doesn't like, some docuseries will drag out extra episodes or will have kind of more some filler, or they'll chase down leads that don't really go anywhere. This is a very focused, and probably because the crime happened back in the 90s, they've had a lot of time to process a lot of this information and stuff. So they were able to get kind of to the bone of the matter. And there's very little filler here. They show you hey, this is who this woman was. This is what her life was like before this happened. These are the events that happened the day that she disappeared. Here's what happened the night before. So it's really in-depth look at her final 24 hours or so. And then it takes a look at the people who might have been involved. It looks at person of interest as they came up in the case. And I like that each one of them was given a lot of time to look into hey, here's why this person's a person of interest, but also here are some reasons that maybe just might dissuade you from thinking they were a person of interest. So I appreciated that. I thought they did just a great job of also humanizing, putting a human edge on this. A lot of times they just focus in on the killer or the crime or the brutality of what happened, the shocking nature of the crime. But in this, I thought they really did a good job of really looking at who, Jodi is / was as a human being. And I appreciated that because that's something you don't get all the time in these. I do think they're getting better, though, overall, of being a little less sensationalist and being a little bit more human and grounded, which I appreciate, at least in most cases. But I thought this was really well made. You got to hear from so many people who knew her personally, a lot of firsthand information, people who worked the case. There was a woman who had been investigating the case for years and years. She had a lot of great insights. But it's just nice to hear firsthand accounts on these things. And in the end, this was just a really well-made documentary. It's heartbreaking. It's a depressing docuseries, but it's also, it's really well made. And if you're interested in true crime or just good documentaries, I definitely recommend her last broadcast. But that's my review for the docuseries. If you want to check out more, I've got a full playlist right here on YouTube just filled with movie, TV show reviews. I've got taste tests, live streams, you name it. But anyway, thank you for watching this one. I do greatly appreciate it, and hopefully I'll see you soon.